My name's Claire and I'm here to help you get better at ballet. So today we're talking line and alignment, actually specifically line. Alignment is very much about making sure your body is facing the right direction, but today I'm going to give you 3 tips to really help you improve your line in ballet. We've already talked about the reasons why we want to be creating beautiful shapes and lovely balanced positions as we dance, and that video is available here. And now I'm going to be talking about how we can actually improve our line. Okay, it's something that we work on a lot as dancers. You want to get those, it's not just about extensions, getting your leg higher, it's about creating that beautiful like diagonal line if you're wanting that line, or that lovely angular arabesque, so it looks like almost like you're balancing like a champagne glass with your leg up a little bit higher than your body, so that sort of thing. So I'm going to give you these 3 tips. We're going to look at how our strength can help, how our mobility can help, and how our placement can help. So, looking at strength, you might think it's all about mobility, it's all about stretching, getting those lovely bendy legs, stretching out those muscles. Yes, that's important. However, if you have the strength, you can then hold those positions. It's all very well being able to hold your leg up with your hand, but that's not really what you're wanting to do in the long run. That's a very good exercise for getting that mobility, but you want to be able to lift your leg up to that position and hold it with your leg muscles. So to help you with that, I suggest maybe getting a TheraBand and doing exercises that will gently build the strength in your quads, but also your hip flexors, which are these muscles, and they will help you lift your legs. Also, just actually the act of moving your leg and lifting your leg and then holding it up there and then seeing if you can let go and hold it there, or even practice lifting it and just lifting it a little bit higher, so you're getting that lift in your legs, you're working those muscles to get those legs that little bit stronger. Okay, let's go right down to the very foundations. That is our core and our supporting side. You'll hear me bang on about this a lot, but unfortunately it's so true. If your supporting side is super strong and really held and turned out in the hip socket, and your core is held really strong, that will give you the foundation from which you can then lift your leg in any direction. That is the strength, the initial strength, but you will need to use your quads in order to lift your leg, certainly to the front and side. Front, not quite so much, because if it's the more rotated it is, you start to use other muscles as well. Yeah, the more inner thigh muscles, the diagonal muscle. I can't remember what it's called. It goes from the back of your knee and the inside and then comes up through your hip flexors. It might be part of your psoas actually. I'll double check that. But anyway, so you use more of that when you're lifting to the front. When you're lifting to the side, you're definitely using your quads, not bunching them, but you will be using them. And when you're lifting up at the back, you'll need, obviously, as well as your supporting leg and core, you'll need back strength, and
our gluteus at the back is basically our bottom, and that will be needed to lift your leg in arabesque.
So that's strength. You need strength in your core and your supporting side, and strength in the muscles that are going to be actually lifting that leg. You also need to be thinking of your mobility and flexibility. Now, I didn't say that first because that's the one we first think of normally. You think, oh yeah, do the stretching, get the splits, get the side splits as well, get yourself really mobile and stretchy. But actually the strength is really important, and it's more important to have the strength first, and then you can get the stretch going. So stretching, I hate to say it, but doing the splits or doing the splits in second, those are the sort of foundations that lead to nice arabesque lines or nice lines in second. So very gently stretching your muscles. Please, please stretch at the end of class. So you've done all your jumps, you're super hot and sweaty, and then be really mindful as you do it. Don't just bam down into splits. Sit in a position, making sure you're placed, making sure that you're not twisting your knees or anything, and really just go to the edge of your stretch. Find that point at which your muscles are going, no, no more. That's where you sit, and just hold that for 10 seconds and breathe into it. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. And you'll find after 10 seconds, the muscles will sort of calm down a little bit, and you can gently push a little bit further. You can do that about 3 times. Don't try and do it more than 3. And again, be really mindful. Don't ever push it to a point where you think, oh my gosh, my muscles are going to split, because you don't want to injure yourself. But do that very gently. And if you do that in all directions, say maybe 2-3 times a week, you will start to see an improvement in your mobility and your stretch of your muscles. You also want to be increasing the mobility of your joints. Now, you can't change bone, obviously, but you can improve the mobility of those joints. Keeping them mobile is very good for you. For those of you who are adult dancers, as we get older, we need to keep those joints mobile just for general life, because it's really important to keep those joints mobile, because the more mobility you have, the stronger you are as we get a little bit older. The other thing we need to look at is our placement. It's all very well getting your leg right up here, but if you're twisted and your knees bent and your hips are lifted, that is not going to help you. So really listen to what your teacher's saying. Yeah, if they're telling you to keep your hips nice and straight and to turn those legs, rotate those legs in your hip socket, and really, find that placement. Make sure when you're going to the front, your leg is right in front of your nose or your tummy button. Little things like that. Get that right first in your tondus, or when you're first learning with maybe just an inch off the floor, and then start working on lifting that leg a little bit more. And also, as you're lifting legs in any direction, think of lengthening your leg. Don't think I've got to lift that leg, because that just makes you bunch the muscles up. Now, the muscles will contract, but if you think of lengthening that leg, it helps you work in a way that's not just bunching those muscles. And it's a bit difficult because you can't actually physically lengthen your leg, but the way you work when you think of lengthening your leg and lengthening up through your spine, it kind of creates a space so then you can lift those legs. Okay, it makes you work the muscles in a certain way, so you're not using the really obvious ones, you're using the slightly smaller muscles that are a bit more precise. And what that does is that means that you get a nice long line with your leg, as opposed to a bunched and contracted feeling in the joints. You need to be lengthening those legs out. It is more of a mental thing, but it does actually make a difference. I've seen it in action and I was like, oh my gosh. So those are my 3 tips. So really think about the placement of your legs and the direction in which they're moving, making sure that it's absolutely in alignment to what your teacher's been telling you. I say it like that because I know to the second, different systems teach slightly different. Some systems teach it absolutely has to be directly to the side. I teach RAD, Royal Academy of Dance, which actually encourages you to go according to your turnout, and others do as well. So, go with what your teacher is telling you. So making sure you're absolutely placed, and then think strengthening the right muscles so that you've got the strength to lift those legs in those directions. And after that, you have to think of stretching so you can then increase those extensions that little bit more. Hopefully that'll help. Let me know how you get on. Do subscribe, do share this with your friends. And if you want to dance with me, pop along to bridgeballet.co.uk and you can find out more about booking a class. Or if you can't make your schedule work with ours, you can do one of my classes anytime, night or day, by going to bridgeballet.club. And you can join the membership and enjoy workshops. These videos are going to be there as well, but you can enjoy workshops. There's already a whole host of classes up there, and a new class gets added every week. See you later.